Good morning. It's me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see reflected back to us in our outside world. So, in our interactions with those around us, in our environment, all of that is just a reflection of our own energy. And we really have to go inside and sift and through all of the blockages and try to find ways to shift our own energy if we want to see changes around us. All right, so we are going to start with Divine Feminine today because she had cards showing, and Divine Masculine did not show me any of his cards. So he's got his secrets. Let's see what Divine Feminine is thinking about. All right, top of the deck, forefront of the mind for Divine Feminine is this card of reciprocity, generosity, which we actually saw in yesterday's reading, which I did a wild card spread for. We looked directly at the fears and distractions, what we should focus on instead, um, past lessons that we have learned from, things we need to let go, what we should, um, and guardians and inner strength and everything. It was a good reading if you missed it. And I'm seeing some of the cards from yesterday's reading pop up again. So she's she's thinking very much about this reciprocity, and she's thinking about generosity, her own generosity, wanting to be very. I think she's thinking about reciprocation, and there's there's definitely this reflection upon the subtleties involved in reciprocation and giving and receiving in the difference between being in situations that are quid pro quo versus just sort of giving from the pure desire to do so without any expectation of return. So there's a lot of reflection just on this general state. Um, it wasn't its reverse. So I'm not seeing here a focus on a lack of reciprocity. It's like she's giving herself what she needs, and she's feeling that sort of reassurance that her own benevolence with herself is going to allow her to have the same generosity with others. She's feeling very generous in her heart, um, as well, and thinking about how she's feeling that. She might also be feeling like she is receiving reciprocation from another energy, from a divine masculine energy as well. But based on the first uh, card that's on her mind, I'm going to guess that this is a lot more about her understanding of giving herself what she needs will bring that to her, will attract that to her. The niggling thing in the back of her mind is, again, this card that showed up yesterday in the reading. And I wish I could remember, but I feel like these came out together maybe. But regardless, this Nine of Wands energy, this is the niggling feeling. So this is underlying all of her thoughts and decisions. And it's that she has been in a state of isolation, but she has learned to become very resilient. The Field Tarot, which is the deck that we're using right now, puts words on the minor arcana, and it has the word resilience for this one. I also think a lot in Nine of Wands about perseverance, because you're persevering through the wounds that you've had. So you've fought a lot of battles. You've had to isolate yourself to go and heal those wounds, and that's been done, and this healing has taken place. And the healing that has taken place is really opened her so that now Divine Feminine can feel this, um, meeting her own needs, being able to be generous with her love, which is the first, good morning, Lena, the first thing on her mind is this Ace of Cups, which is such a beautiful card that is really, when I see it, most often about the spiritual journey of learning self-love. It's a card about self-care. It's about um, drawing your inspiration from the divine, being very in touch with your emotions and using them to guide you as well, and being connected to that guidance system with the divine. So the first thing on her mind right now is just taking care of herself. She's got a cup, it's full, and she knows, since this is her thinking mind, she knows that this reflection of the cup is going to come back to her because she's in this mental state right now of being in the light of the Six of Pentacles. So she's in that very prosperous, benevolent feeling with a feeling of this reciprocation. So she's perhaps seeing her cup reflected back to her, or she's like healed herself so that now she can see that there has always been reciprocation here. And it was her fear of her unworthiness that made her assess the gestures she received or the words or communications she received, um, in a way where their true meaning seemed to be veiled. The next thing on her mind is the Page of Wands. And this is really interesting because, again, I brought this Page of Wands energy up yesterday because I was talking about how I had done um, a sound bath and we had to go into the Page of Wands energy. And I listed out all of what this means. And this came up for her yesterday in her past energy. And it had to do with sexual burgeoning in that reading yesterday about some past relationship or some past event that had kind of caused her to experience. I can't remember the other card with it, but it's not coming back to me right now. But whatever card it was just about her having perhaps had some kind, oh, it was Knight of Wands. So experiencing, inconsistent sexual energy, potentially a sexual trauma in the past. But when she was young, kind of putting her, also the Knight of Wands is sort of like the fantastic prince, like that rushes in and sweeps you off your feet. And it's a really immature kind of like a creation of like just like what a young girl, teenage girl imagines that love is going to be like. And then when you get into it, you find out, oh no, it's not at all like that. So that was what was in her reading yesterday. But to have this Ace of Cups and then this Page of Wands, to me, this is about this excitement she's feeling for this burgeoning love that is happening because she's feeling reciprocity. There might be someone in her life right now that is actually engaging with her this way, and she's feeling very excited about this reciprocity. Um, and this doesn't have to be relationships. Remember, I'm feeling if I relate this to my career, I can look at that. I'm finally investing in my record in the Six of Pentacles. So I'm putting in, and then I'm seeing that come back to me. And um, I'm taking care of myself. I'm honoring my passions, and I'm letting my emotions and the things that really move me guide me and help me to start out. And I'm going to be able to make this new record, which I'm really excited about. And I feel the next card, which is movement. So remember, this doesn't have to be a love reading. It sounds all a lot like a love reading because we're talking about these two parts of self that must come into this sacred union together. And of course, you can apply it that way. But just remember, it's not just that, it's energy. So the energy of this new burgeoning feeling, right? This excitement. She knows how to love herself. She's healed those wounds. She knows how to reciprocate. So now she feels movement. There is movement, and it's um, exciting. And Eight of Wands is also about messages. So she could be receiving messages, or she could be excited to send messages of love, or, if she's wanting to be generous with her feelings, with her love, she's excited about this potential that's here. The movement, the next card that's coming up is interesting because it is the Five of Swords, which in this deck has defeat written on it, which I do associate a lot with the Five of Swords. But the Five of Swords is also about being in a battle. In Smith Waite imagery, we see somebody who has two swords, and three swords have been dropped on the ground. So it's sort of like the two swords stand still has now resulted in this heartache of some kind. And you're like picking up the pieces, and the other person has walked away. And now you're going to take those swords and you're heading towards the progression of the Six of Swords, where you're going to be able to learn from the lessons of the battling, the struggles, and strife that you had to build the bridge to where you want to go next, which will involve the strategy of the Seven of Swords, um, and progressing on through the end of the suit. But this Five of Swords energy, it's clarifying this Ace of Cups. To see the Ace of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Eight of Wands prior to this card makes me feel like Divine Feminine has given up on a specific I can't say that. There's some aspect that Divine Feminine has given up on, but I don't know exactly where the defeat lies in this card. It might be just battling with herself because of that Ace of Cups, battling with maybe feeling defeated or thinking a little bit about the defeat of filling her own cup and not seeing this reflection yet because of the next few cards. So I think that's what this is about. It's interesting because it's conflicting so much with that bright positive message that we start with, and then to have her feel this sense of giving up. It's in regards to the next three cards because we do have some overthinking, but we're seeing first the Knight of Cups in reverse, and then I'm going to pull the next one because I really think these two came out together. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So there's a divine masculine energy that she wants to see and isn't seeing. Um, I think she's feeling defeated because she's like, okay, I'm giving myself what I need, right? I've healed my wounds. I've filled my cup. I'm exploring, I'm allowing myself to explore, and I'm moving forward in this motion. And yet I feel defeated because when I get to this point, I still don't experience this Nine of Cups energy. I still don't experience the steady, reliable Knight of Pentacles energy coming towards me with any type of offer. So she's this is what's clarifying these two nights. And it's like she's thinking, I'm defeated by these old patterns and I need something new. I need to move towards something new. It's like she's hit a plateau. Just had a conversation last night with my best friend who is part of this collective. And our conversations always give me so much insight because we have so many parallels, even though our lives are so different. We have so many parallels because of the collective energy. And she was sort of like, I've done everything I said I wanted to do, you know? And she kind of hit this plateau, like almost like a creative plateau in her life, so that she wasn't even sure what to dream about next. And I think that that is what I'm looking at here, because it's like this Knight of Cups didn't show up, this Knight of Pentacles didn't show up, and she's kind of giving up on that immature thing that she was imagining happening when she was a child, when she was youthful. And realizing that she needs new dreams. She needs dreams that match her adult self. And that's the next card is this beautiful page of cups energy that literally says dreams on it. And this is the movement. So she's heading towards her dreams and she's giving up on waiting for, this divine masculine energy. She doesn't really need it. She has her own, maybe she's in a new relationship and she's seeing reciprocation at a much higher level, or maybe she's just like, he's coming slowly and steadily. He's going to bring this cup and express it to me when he comes, but like I'm giving up on really focusing much on it or needing it to happen, because for now I'm really moving towards these dreams and I'm realizing that I need to think of bigger things because I've started to achieve the things I want and there's going to be a plateau. So, what next? What next? The top of the deck for the heart space is this Two of Wands or Two of Inspiration in the Muse Tarot. And we're seeing, the Two of Wands we associate with twin flame energy for those of us in this twin flame collective. So we see her feeling perhaps the fullness of the journey. Um, it's about asking for something and then having to wait. It's more uncomfortable than the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is patience because you can see the pieces falling into place. But the Two of Wands, you've just got to have faith. And it's a point where you need to make a choice to just believe in what you've asked for or not. And we saw that in the reading yesterday too, where it was just there was this, or in the day before, where the divine feminine was just like she always had these backup options, and it was like if you have backup options then that means you don't have faith. And so she's in her heart space right now in the light of the Two of Wands, and there is a sense of, actually there isn't discomfort here, it's just more of an acceptance of the uncertainty that's associated with the card. She's choosing to trust. The niggling feeling in her heart space was the top of the deck for both divine feminine and masculine heart space yesterday. It is the King of Swords or the Muse of Voices in the Muse Tarot. So we're still feeling her very strongly in this place where she feels like she's in her integrity. She wants to communicate clearly and directly. She feels that there's this energy, because she has this energy and because of that law of attraction and the reflection of her own energy, that she's sure to see this energy, but she doesn't know when or how. But she's not chafing at it. She just feels it. She's like, I will see this Knight of Swords energy. I will see a divine masculine in his integrity, in his chivalry, in his honor, communicating directly to me with a lot of command and control of his emotions and his discernment and intellect and bravery. She knows she's going to see that. She feels that that is going to happen. Oh my God. Ace of Cups, Ace of Cups. So we have this divine feminine energy in union, in head and heart. If divine feminine's headspace is an Ace of Cups and her heart space is an Ace of Cups, then that means that the masculine energy and the feminine energy both hold a cup. Both of them have a full cup. And it's funny because when these cards fell out, the Ace of Cups was technically should have taken the first position, but when I pushed all the cards together, it switched for the second card. But I knew instinctively when I pulled it out that it needed to go back onto that Ace of Cups because that is that sacred union. And the next part makes a lot more sense with the card that fits it. This Page of Wands energy, her heart space is clarifying with the Fool in reverse. So she is like, girl, you need to be cautious though, okay? You need to go slowly, hang on a tick. Like, do not go leaping. Do not do not get too excited yet. You need to be cautious about this movement that you're feeling, right? So, very carefully, cautiously releasing any, naive energy. Not She doesn't want to be foolish. She doesn't want to miss take any missteps because she's got this full cup. She doesn't want to spill it. She wants to see this full cup given back to her, reciprocated, right? So she's like, just be careful. Just be careful what you say and be careful what you do. And you should probably look really nice every day too. And this Eight of Wands is being clarified by this Four of Swords or Four of Voices finally in reverse. So the silence is being broken. Either Divine Feminine is going to cautiously break the silence, or she feels that that King of Swords energy that's being reflected back to her is about to break silence. And look at this beautiful synchronicity of the Five of Swords. And what did I tell you? When we give up and walk away, we collect the pieces of the broken heart, we pick up those swords, we reflect upon them, the struggles and the strife that we've had. And then where do we end up? In the Six of Swords. We end up moving. That movement we're feeling, the silence is broken, and we can move towards the next thing. But we can move on. We can move on from the things that didn't serve us, which is the next card, the Eight of Cups. And what are we moving away from? We are transitioning away from this lack of movement and lack of expression. Now we're moving very fast and we are expressing very much. We are walking towards our higher calling. Our higher calling is away from energy that doesn't serve us. Nights who don't show up, that energy doesn't serve us. So we need to walk away from that. We need to walk away from our own inability to express and our own inability to move quickly. Pick up the pace. We're only moving slowly and cautiously because we're afraid that we're going to lose something. God. The next, okay, so there's over feeling going on in the heart space, and then we've got this Eight of Cups, right? That I told you, oh, girl is moving away from this type of energy. She doesn't want to have this energy that doesn't express. She doesn't want to have this super, super slow moving energy. She wants fast moving energy for herself, girl. She wants fast moving energy from her partner. And did I stutter? Because there's the Knight of fucking Cups upright right after it. She wants to walk away from the type of energy that doesn't express to her and towards the type of energy that does. She wants to walk away from her inability to receive and towards her ability to receive that love that she feels can be reciprocated to her now. And then we're seeing that overfeeling that goes with that Knight of Cups is clarifying this dreams and this Four of Pentacles. So her dream is to be able to have a solid foundation in the material world, not just a spiritual foundation, but a physical one. And that it will come from the arrival of this Knight of Cups, which is the ability to be open to receive as well as to express all of those feelings and emotions that you have in your cup that you've started this whole reading with. You need to have your Knight of Cups. If your Knight of Cups is in reverse, all your cups spilling out all over the place, which is fine if there's another cup there to catch it. But you want to have this full cup. She's also still aware that there is a specific material attachment she has to a specific thing. And she's understanding that she has to dream bigger than she's been allowing herself to dream because she's going to get what it is that she desires. And if you're going to get what you desire, if somebody says to you, hey, you can have a free ice cream, are you just going to get like a little bit of vanilla ice cream and in a dish, or are you going to get like a sundae, banana split or something? Go ham on your dreams. All right, let's look at divine masculine. Okay. So he kept all his cards hidden from me except for the top and bottom of the deck, which I always see. So we got some nice little surprises from him. Top of the deck, overall, forefront of his mind, Knight of Cups in reverse. Can I make it up? I don't know. If this jumps out of the heart space for divine masculine, we're looking at a whole lot of union. So we've got a divine couple in agreement about the state of the divine masculine energy. Currently, the state of that divine masculine energy that divine feminine wants to walk away from is Knight of Cups in reverse. Because the Knight of Cups in reverse is in the shadow traits of being pretty wishy-washy, saying one thing, wanting to do it, and then not really following through. In this beautiful Housewives Tarot deck that we are using, we have this just lovely prep school kid, pouring himself a drink so he can approach the divine feminine, trying to build up that liquid courage so he can give his offer to her. So divine masculine is thinking about some of those different aspects of the card. The naivete of the knight, the wishy-washiness, being like, hey, baby, it's going to happen on this day. And then being like, oh, sorry, slight delay. It's like wishy-washy. It's not solid. It's not stable. It's not reliable. And he's thinking about that and being like, right now I look kind of like a punk ass kid, right? Not looking my best at the moment. But all I want to do is pour this cup out. All I want to do is pour it into her cup, directly into her cup. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get in there with this emotion and feeling and stuff. That's consuming his mind. So some of his feelings of inadequacy here, some of his trying to work up to this to do it, some of his like, I want to do it so much, and the awareness of like, I gotta do what I say I'm gonna do. I had a song on a playlist that my divine masculine made, and it stuck in my head so much. And the lyric of, I want you to believe everything that I say. I want you to believe everything that I do. And I was like, bitch, I would love to. I would love to. Like, make me believe, like, make me believe. You say one thing, you don't do it, or I misunderstand it or something. Like, I don't know. So he's thinking about that, how he doesn't come off the way he wants to come off. And the niggling thing in the back of his mind that's underlying all of his thoughts and decisions is this high priestess energy in reverse. So he's having a hard time trusting his own intuition. And I think he's afraid that divine feminine is not going to believe everything that he says or believe everything that he does, because he's been like this. How do you believe someone who is not always honorable? And it's not like he did it because he was malicious. This isn't Knight of Wands behavior that's like really thoughtless and careless. It's just more like the road to hell is paved with good intentions, right? And he really wants divine feminine to believe him and to trust in him. But how can she do that if he doesn't trust himself, doesn't trust in his emotions, doesn't trust in his ability to express these emotions, right? It's complicated. The first thing on his mind is the King of Pentacles in reverse. Now, I'm not afraid that he doesn't feel his worthiness, because this would be more likely a page or something. It's not a page, it's the king. So we know that he feels pretty stable right now financially. Or it's possible that he doesn't feel stable financially. He's feeling a little destabilization financially, but he's a king that has a lot of comforts. He has a lot of financial security normally, and maybe he's just worrying about it a little bit. But I don't think that he doesn't feel worthiness. I think he's thinking more about his ego and his attachment to the material and um, wanting to release the part of himself that's so concerned with external appearances, with material health, like well-being. He's like wanting much more to be in his spiritual health and wellness. So that's the feeling I'm getting strongest from that card right now. The next card we just saw for Divine Feminine, the Four of Pentacles. Divine Masculine is seeing his Four of Pentacles in a really interesting way. Look at Divine Feminine's. She's attached to her desires. And the Pentacles in the Muse Tarot, let's let this truck go by. The Pentacles in the Muse Tarot are roses, and roses are desire. It's like the things you want in the material so much. In the Housewives Tarot, we're looking at these decorative plates, sometimes not decorative plates either. It doesn't always have to be that way, but like sometimes it's like plates on a table or whatever in this deck. But it's always these plates. And they, in this particular image, so when you get married and you have your wedding gifts, you usually get this china. You either get it inherited. This was like back in the day. It was inherited from a family member. I received. I didn't want fine china at the time because who uses that now? Like I didn't want that. So when I was asked what I wanted for when I got married, I said I wanted my great grandmother's normal dishes that she used in her kitchen. They're awesome. I still have them. And they were like gray bottomed and they had like like a buttery yellow pink, there was a pink and like a robin's egg blue, and it was all like matched together. It was cool. They used them at the restaurant that my family owned for 50 years back in the I think the probably the 70s and maybe the late 70s, early 80s. And they were all these stoneware plates. It was really, really nice. So that's what I got. So this is like it's like a thing to have a hutch, which I even do have a hutch, but I don't have those plates anymore, so they're not on display. But to have this symbol of your wealth in these, beautiful, expensive plates displayed for all to see. It's like a sign of your wealth, and it's domestic wealth too. It shows like the wealth of your home. So Divine Feminine's, she's got her she's got something specific that she desires, and Divine Masculine's desire is to have that home, right? With Divine Feminine there, and to give her these things and to have this on display. This is important to him. And I think that's why we're seeing that the thought process of this of trying to release the ego that needs that so much. But it's also why I'm not feeling that he's got financial issues, because to see this means to me he's pretty stable. He does have a stable foundation. He wants to give that to this Divine Feminine. He wants to give her the same kind of stability. I also see Divine Feminine looking kind of irritated in this too. I'm just going to make note of that, where she looks a little bit like, seriously. So I think there's just a little fear there for him about whether she might be annoyed at how clingy he is to this just going to make note of that. All right. The next card up is the 10 of Wands. Now, we saw this a lot yesterday. And the 10 of Wands is a completion card. It is about being burdened and having quite a lot of responsibilities and being finally able to put them down. And we associate wand energy with passion, communication. And this deck, it's about it's this these tools for cleansing and cleaning, and it's an interesting layer. But divine masculine is ready to put down these burdens and to communicate, right? That Knight of Cups is like, I'm going to tell everything. I'm going to tell everything. And we're getting the Knight of Cups. And it's this Christmas imagery again. He just really wants to give Divine Feminine these gifts. He's been collecting for her. That's another thing I'm thinking. He's got gifts for her that he's collected and like saved. And I think this Divine Feminine is just going to be like, what the hell? Like, when did you buy this? Like, how long have you had these things? He just wants to give her all of these things. And when we get the Nine of Cups, when it's upright, that means we are going to get our wish fulfillment. And his wish fulfillment is to finally be able to bring this material presence of himself to fulfillment, to be able to shower Divine Feminine with his wealth, with his abundance, to share that material um, abundance with her. The next card up is the Moon, which is really significant for the two of them for many reasons, but it's about dreams, it's about the subconscious, it's about the limiting beliefs, the shadow work that needs to be done. It can be about our 5D relationship. It can be about mystery, secrets, but it's also about illumination and things coming to light. So it's clarifying this Four of Pentacles because I think what we're looking at, remember, we started this reading with Divine Masculine hiding all of his cards. He didn't want us to see them. And this card is like he wants to keep this Four of Pentacles, these gifts, these things he intends to share with Divine Feminine energy. He wants to keep them secret so that he can surprise her. He has these big dreams about this. And maybe he's thinking his dreams were a little too big. Like, maybe that's the other thing. Maybe he's thinking like, I think I really maybe I should probably dial this down a little bit. Like, this is a bit much. Like, I don't think that a human can accomplish this. I'm thinking about this in regards to my own masculine energy, in regards to my record, where it was like, you know, I'm the King of Pentacles in this one, in the creation of this thing. Like, I know this, but I want it to be like a lot, and I want it on a schedule that's like kind of dreamy, a little bit too much of my Pisces rising being like, and then I'll do this, and then I'll do that, and then realizing like no human can do those things, dear one, Okay. The Moon is followed by the overthinking, which is overthinking will allow, because clarifying this 10 of Wands, which is I'm ready to put down these burdens, share this load, communicate, share with you. This King of Cups, that's usually the shadow where he's not loving to talk a lot, but there's the Eight of Wands again, which we already saw over here for Divine Feminine, where she was thinking that there's this movement and motion and feeling that there's going to be this breaking of the silence. And then we are looking at that experience over here for Divine Masculine. So they're definitely matched in their energy at the moment. He very much wants to put down this burden and communicate with her. He wants to share these messages with her, and he wants to do this in his maturity in this King of Cups energy. and be able to utilize the full expression of the Knight of Cups without the wishy-washiness. He wants to be there, he wants to be kind, considerate, compassionate, caring, just, honorable, brave, true, psychic, sensitive, all the good stuff from this King of Cups. Very loyal, very dedicated. Let's look at the heart space. Top of the deck, overall feeling of heart space for Divine Masculine. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So he's impatient. He's sensing impatience, but he's also hit a point where he planted the seeds, he nurtured them, he took care of them, and it's time now for this to be harvested. The niggling feeling in the heart space is the Queen of Wands in reverse. Now, I don't know if this is divine feminine or if there is just a feminine energy in his life that's maybe not really going to be happy about the situation or isn't happy about the situation. This doesn't necessarily have to be about divine feminine. Could be a fire sign, but some kind of an energy that's like not happy. Could also be about divine masculine's awareness that divine feminine in this reading, she's not loving the weight and she's been feeling very impatient and he's kind of pushed her to her limits, I think. So there's that. It could be those of us that have a situation where divine masculine is there is a feminine energy that is not happy about the fruits that are about to be harvested, um, and just his awareness that his current divine feminine has not been happy waiting for them to be harvested. The first thought in his mind, that King of Pentacles in reverse, it is clarified by, and I love to see this, this makes me very happy, the High Priestess. And she is upright. She is not in reverse. She is fully in tune, trusting in her heart space, trusting in her intuition. She is psychic. She can sense what's coming. The mysteries of the universe are sweeter than you know, are what that card says. And in this, we're seeing him feeling that he, I think, trusts in his ability to release this attachment to his ego, to his outcome, because the next thing that comes up after this major arcana energy for him is some more major arcana energy, and it is the Chariot. And it's the Chariot is all about controlling the ego. It's about surrendering the reins to the divine and allowing the divine to take the team and drive it forward towards what it is that you desire. And he feels that there's this balance and there's this forward motion towards this foundation that, and his ability to be able to share that with divine feminine energy so that he can have this union, this physical manifestation. This 10 of Wands is being clarified by the Empress in reverse. So when we see the Empress in reverse, I think we're looking at the third party energy today, not divine feminine. It's rare that I associate the Empress not with the divine feminine, so I'm going to read two layers. But if that Queen of Wands in reverse is a pissed off feminine energy, this might be a past wife, because Empress energy is wife energy, mother, wife energy, big time. So there could be a past wife that we're he's wanting to unburden himself about, wanting to tell divine feminine. The other layer, if this card is divine feminine herself and she's in reverse, when we see the Empress in reverse, she's getting up, she's no longer stationary or fixed. She is also overbearing, overprotective, and so we might see divine masculine having kind of entered into his own distorted feminine, become overbearing and overprotective. um he's also, I think, a little bit uh kind of giving an explanation that he, because of his responsibilities, he didn't have the ability to come forward towards this divine feminine. He didn't want to burden her, he didn't want to bring her all of the, whatever past energy and drop it on her lap and have her carry it with him. So there's all those messages coming from those two placements. But this message to me is so clear because here's the 9 of cups, which is your wish fulfillment, and here's the wish. It's the one. This is the queen, or this is the 8 of pentacles. The wish is to be able to give his queen, his divine feminine, these gifts, these creations that he's been working on. He wants to be able to share this with her finally and watch her pleasure and her joy from it. That's another thing. He wants to see her experience of what he's created for her. This moon, it's clarifying the tower in reverse. So we're looking at a feeling of what has been hidden or what has not been revealed is in regards to what has prevented divine masculine from being able to rebuild the tower, to initiate the rebuilding of the tower. There has been something that has prevented him from doing that. There is also revelation about the causation behind these tower moments and the I think the acceptance that his fear of causing these tower moments has been what has kept caused him to, or it is what keeps this hidden still. But the chariot is fast moving towards this illumination, towards this revealing. This is also your dreams being destroyed. So this could have been dreams he had at one point in time, that those old things, it's just no longer there anymore. He doesn't have them anymore. And it's finally the subconscious limiting beliefs and this needing to release, maybe still having a resistance to releasing some of the past. But the 8 of Wands and the King of Cups is being clarified by the Page of Wands or the Princess of Wands, which we saw for Divine Feminine. So we have Divine Masculine in union with Divine Feminine, feeling this excitement, this burgeoning sexuality too with this feminine energy. And like he's not trying to suppress his excitement. He's really excited. He wants to be um in this king energy and just send these messages or bring this motion directly to divine feminine. All right, let's take a look at the oracles. Divine feminine, you are in the light attributes of the bully, which is highlighting your tendency to intimidate others and helping you confront the inner fears that bully you. So this card, when it came out, I think it came out and it's reversed, but then I must have moved it upright because I remember it being reversed. So that just means for me to highlight this shadow for you, which is concealing deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. So I think that you that I'm just supposed to be really drawn to the second part of this, that you don't necessarily have a tendency to intimidate others. This is more about you confronting the inner fears that bully you and don't let you be who you are meant to be, or like try to make you feel bad for who you are. You're really confronting those inner fears. You are in the light attributes of the warrior, which is strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self sacrifice in conquering the ego. So you are a warrior woman right now. Um, and congrats, you're doing really well. Your guardian is God, love itself. And there's that Ace of Cups, which was in your head and your heart. I mean, you are really receiving this light and this loving energy. You're getting courage. It was in its reversal because I think there's just an emphasis here that you have so much courage. You got this warrior card already that told you you have the strength, the skill, this discipline, and you're being really brave and facing these inner fears that are bullying you. And because of this end of this tough cycle approaches. And there's an emphasis on this card. And if you have the Work Your Light deck, you'll know what this page looks like. This is telling you just to say yes. There is a Three of Cups energy here. So there is like be lighthearted, have fun, just say yes to things that make you feel good. Um, and I think it's the end of a tough cycle approaches. And this is most likely the answer to the question that you will receive. And then you're getting vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. It is the protection message. Do you wish you could run away from your past or deny your mistakes? Not so fast, says Vulture Spirit. You have gained something valuable from the experience. Let your grief or anger move through you, and soon your emotions will transform, for you will come to see that you have learned and grown. The alchemy of transformation is a gift from Spirit, so never disown what embarrassed, disappointed, or shamed you. It will soon be a source of great wisdom and strength as you work with the magic that allows miracles to be created out of sadness and beauty to arise from ugliness. Vulture Spirit wants you to know that you embody beauty, and the alchemical transformation of the past is happening already. Hang in there. You are so loved, and so much beauty is waiting to come out of all of this. I love that. Nothing is wasted. All right, Divine Masculine, you are in the shadow attributes of the dilettante. So you might be being a little bit too superficial in your pursuits of the divine feminine right now, or you're just needing to be aware of this tendency in you to be a little too superficial, right? A little too superficial. So you're wanting to keep that in check. Um, you also you need to be in this headspace where you delight in the arts without having to be a professional at it, right? So it's like you don't have to know exactly what you're doing. You can still take pleasure and delight in this process without being perfect at it. It's charming to learn something new, to learn new skills. Um, and just be careful that you are making really true gestures, that they're not just these surface level gestures right now. You're in the light attributes of the teacher, which is the ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom. So, right now, you are in the position to take the lead and teach here in this union. You are also, if you weren't confident that you are in your mode of you being a person who's now going to be expounding wisdom, probably upon divine feminine, here's your guardian to help you with this. This is higher education. This is Hierophant energy, which of course is marriage. There's a twin flame angel there, but sacred union. But this is about having learned your lessons and now being able to graduate and teach others. You are getting an emphasis on home, coming home, going home, relinquishing a past home, inviting in a new home. But you get this a lot. You are going home. You are getting an emphasis on this card. This is the Void of Course Moon. This is an unusual card in the deck. When the moon is in the Void of Course phase, it means it is not really much of this or much of that. It could go either way. But this card says nothing will come of this situation. And there was a reversal on it, which to me is any of the things that you are potentially fearing about, that are blocking you right now. Your fears about your capability, your fears about your superficiality or your inconsistency, nothing will come of those fears that you are so worried about. And you're in a very neutral timing, and there's nothing against the energy of going towards divine feminine. There's You're not getting an extra boost, but you're not getting anything preventing you from moving forward either. So it's kind of a good time to do something, because it's almost like the purest energy there. There's no influence. It's just pure. Your guidance is divinely guided. To get that with the teacher card is pretty significant to me. So you really are receiving significant guidance, and you are able to give that same guidance to others at this time. You're also receiving the Mintaken card, which is a longing for home, belonging, and the original light workers, and it was in its reversal, just like your home card. So this deep longing you have had to come home. Remember, when you're in a state of longing, you're not in a state of having. So relinquishing this feeling of longing and instead feeling how you have it, this will bring you into alignment so that you can do what it is that you really want to do. Lizard spirit, dream the world into being. This is 38. And you got the moon card, and y'all got dreams all over the place today. Forever, you will always be humbled by this job. When was the last time you basked in the sun and allowed yourself to daydream, to imagine what might be and what you might become? Lizard spirit appears when you are called to let your imagination flow and dream something new. Oh my gosh. The moon and the page of wands. Let your imagination flow and dream something new. Inspiration is available to you now. If you're willing to slow down and let your eyes close a little, allowing ideas to dance in your head. What might come into being if you were to pursue your dream? How might you grow and expand if you allowed yourself to dare to believe in the impossible, making it possible first in your dreaming mind and then in the world as you co create with spirit? Give in to the power of imagination, and soon your dream will become clearer. The steps will reveal themselves, and what was ephemeral will begin to coalesce into form. Dream it and be it. Spirit asks you to dare to dream big. I've been screaming that at you for the last few days, both divine masculine and feminine. You're not dreaming big enough. Dream bigger. All right, let's look at the bottom of the deck for the oracles to see where you are in union. Right now, you are both in the shadow attributes of the hero or heroine, which is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So you're both on the run a little bit. Makes sense. When you're ascending a peak, as you come to this point of the ascension, it feels like giving up, because it seems like you've come so far, it's been so hard, and you can't quite see the peak yet. But that's when you're in labor and you ask for the epidural. And if you waited, you would have hit the worst of the pain, and then you're coming down. Right? So you need to keep that in mind. It's just at the moment when you ask for relief that you see where you're heading. And once you can see that peak, you get a second burst of wind, and you go and head towards that thing that you desire, and you crush it. So have a passion for that journey, and have a passion for the personal empowerment of a journey like this. Don't make it about saving each other, and don't try to run away or escape from the responsibility of ascension. Hey, Saint Raphael is back, and he's upright today. So this healthful eating thing, like maybe you became aware of it, or maybe you just, you know, divine feminine, that Ace of Cups energy, you really are taking care of yourself. So if there was a lack there, that has been rectified. He's also here in that twin flame angel kind of presence too, this protection over this union. And also an emphasis on the fact that you both are healers, because he is a saint. and the Archangel of Healers. So it is likely that you are doing healing work and that this is your life purpose, because this is also coming out for me. To be on this journey of empowerment, to be as to be engaging in ascension, to be healers is your life purpose. And all you need is this confidence in this. Confidence is your key to success in your life purpose, which will draw the two of you together into that sacred union. You need to ask yourself, what is out of alignment? What is not aligned or needs to change? Where are the places that you are still thinking things that aren't really in alignment with what it is that you desire? Where are those fractured places? And the best way to see those places is in that mirror, right? Looking and reflecting upon your own interactions with this divine masculine energy inside of self is the place that shows you that's out of alignment. We're already at an hour reading and I don't want to go on too much longer, so I'm not going to go back, but we could find all of the misalignments in this reading. If you had a notebook with you and write down, oh, like for instance, to have the start in the headspace of the Ace of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Eight of Wands, and then bam, the Five of Swords. There's still something out of alignment there. Or the reversals in the deck where you could have it but you don't. Misalignment. So find those places and start to just sift through them and be open to inspiration for how to align or change in such a way that those things won't be a problem anymore. You're getting Beaver Spirits, lay a solid foundation, and you're getting the protection message. Y'all both got the Four of Pentacles. So let's see what Beaver Spirit has to say. Beaver Spirit has come to warn you to check for rotten wood in the foundations of your dreams. Perhaps you built your hopes on faulty promises or wishful thinking that something would work out just because you wanted it to. Maybe you made choices from a place of unworthiness, hoping that once you got what you desired, it would somehow change you and make everything better. And you had to face the truth that it didn't. Or Beaver Spirit may be telling you it is time to accept things as they are and perhaps consider abandoning the project, relationship, or situation so you can make room for something better. Perhaps you need to go back and rebuild a solid foundation because what you desire may not be in alignment with what your soul intends. Beaver Spirit says you can always get busy and build something fresh and new if the desire is true. All manner of miracles can spring up from a new strong foundation when you remember your partnership with Spirit. Be clear about what you are building and why, choosing from a place of worthiness, well being, and wholeness. Self understanding and acceptance will provide you with a solid blueprint to begin again. Get busy now. Beaver Spirit says this is not a time to procrastinate, but a time to start building again, always mindful of the foundation you are laying, trusting that Spirit is co creating with you. All right, so I'm really honing in on that second to the last paragraph, which was about building something fresh and new if the desire is true. To me, that is these two cards. Building something, building the foundation, fresh and new if the desire is true, right? And Divine Masculine had the same energy with this Tower and this Page of Wands, building something new when the desire is true. All manner of miracles can spring up from a new, strong foundation when you remember that you are doing this with Spirit. And then finally, the part about aligning, right? Okay, beautiful messages. Let's close out with some Island Time Wellness cards with some advice for what we can do today to help us stay in this alignment or come into this alignment, make changes we need to make, etc. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Please like, subscribe, share, click notifications so you know when I'm going live. You can also follow me on Instagram. I will post the time-lapse shuffle with the songs that came on, which I didn't talk about today. But we got a song by Tori Amos called Alamo. And the other song was Cyndi Lauper, A Part of Hate. And I did post those, so you can go check those lyrics out if you want more messages from them. The ones that I took away were hang on, I gotta find it. I had I'll Take My Chances, which was the first song. So, and it was also Somebody Invent the Telephone Line. Like it was I'll go ahead and I'll take these chances and I'll just say what it is I need to say. And then A Part of Hate ended with um like tearing apart the hate that was between them. But I really honed in on I saw hope in this place, from that for Divine Feminine Energy. So that was the music that played today. All right, let's close out. Divine Feminine, what can you do today that will help you to come into alignment in your energy? You are getting heartbroken and I like you, which is interesting. The messages are deeply hurt, sad, separation, breakup, feeling lost, grieving, and mourning. And I like you is someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun, flirting, and want to date. Wow, Divine Feminine, thanks for making this so easy for me to decipher. I guess if this is what you need to do today, there might still be some of us that really haven't fully processed grieving and mourning. But I think what it is you have to take that deep hurt, sadness, and that separation, the feeling of being lost, and you need to um, keep this faith that there is this romance blooming. You need to have fun flirting and start to think about wanting to date again, to start to come into an alignment with this thing. So if you're not here for a love reading and this is for a more general thing about your career or something like that, you could see this as like flirting with other options, letting go of the heartbreak you had about the specific thing that's not working, and just start to have fun flirting with new ideas. We got so many messages about dreaming big, dreaming new things, new. So let go of that past, that heartbreak and sadness, and focus on this new feeling when someone says, I like you, right? And I also think that there are some that were heartbroken by hearing this message, I like you, and wanting to hear, I love you. And so to work through that, you have to continue filling up your own cup. Because if you want to hear, I love you, then you have to be able to say the same thing about yourself. Divine Masculine, you are getting girl talk and lightning, and you're getting time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, and having fun. And also, I noticed that the shirt that she is wearing says yes, and Divine Feminine got the Just Say Yes card today. And you're also getting sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, and transformation. So it looks like you need to prepare for a sudden change or shocking news. I really do think when I look at these images, what I really see, if I don't even look at the words on the girl talk card, I see a Divine Feminine with a shirt that says yes, receiving a phone call, um, and getting shocking news, sudden change, upheaval, and transformation in her life. So I'm pretty sure that's what you want to do today, because that's what this is. So overcome your fears about the upheaval and the transformation and make that choice and call Divine Feminine. I think she's going to say yes to you. The bottom of the deck for y'all, I'm going to pull both. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm just going to pull all these cards. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. All right. Are you ready? If you make these healthy choices, if in love and in life that we just talked about, You will experience this abundance, which is manifesting exactly what you want, gratitude and bliss. An engagement ring, which is partnership, commitment, eternity, completion, and union. And I can't fucking make it up, the separation card in reverse because it's the end of separation. So, Divine Feminine, trust that romance is blooming and that from your heartache, you're going to hear this message. You're going to see new love blooming in your life. Divine Masculine, go tell her that you love her and end the separation and come together. Go do it. What are you waiting for? I hope you all have a really wonderful day today. Take care and join me tomorrow here, not here, on Instagram at noon, but it will still be live. It just won't be in the morning on YouTube. On Instagram at noon with Grace Draka. We're going to go ahead and do the check in, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. And then for 30 minutes, you can ask any questions you might have. If you thought of something today that you want to ask me, save it up. Ask me tomorrow. I will answer you live on Instagram. It's so cool and so fun. Please go follow me. Also, I'm very excited to announce that I have a new monthly collaboration in the works. And I will be giving more details about that, but stay tuned because it's going to be another fun one. And I think it's going to be a little stony, if you know what I'm saying. So it's going to be probably like maybe a late night kind of a thing. So a little different vibes, but same kind of exploration of the parts of self and our tarot and our spiritual journey. So please go follow me on Instagram to be able to have access to all of those collaborations that are coming up. I shall see you on Monday morning here on YouTube for the daily check in. Have a great day. Take care, everybody.